co-host Patrick. How you doing, buddy?
What do you mean, you people?
That is a fantastic line.
It's Killer Delivery by Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah, I have to say, like, so usually with my notes, you know, I'll go through, and especially for the comedy season, I'm just finding all the things I find funny and then moving it to my hilarity section.
Yeah.
This time there's so much I found funny in this movie that I just moved some of my most favorite parts. I couldn't move everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we watched Tropic Thunder.
Yes. Watch Tropic Thunder.
I can't remember whose pick. This is your pick, right?
Yeah. This is my pick. Yeah.
Cool.
This is a movie about making a movie based on a book that was not real but thought is to be real.
Well, that's something we find out later on.
Yeah. And that's the basic premise, and it's not going well, and they have gone overboard to try to make it go better, and they get themselves into some real trouble.
Right. The genesis of the idea was like Stiller was like, what was he making? Oh, he was making Empire of the Sun.
Okay.
And a bunch of his friends were in the acting circle. Were off making Platoon. And he was laughing at them talking about like the having to do the boot camp ahead of time. And he's like, and so he had this idea since all the way back into like, you know, the late 80s. Like,
oh, wow.
What if, yeah, it's like just either like the original idea, I think, was actors getting PTSD from an acting boot camp for the that. And then it germinated into this idea. Like, what if, you know, these guys who were trying to make a war movie accidentally stumbled into like a real war setting?
You're right.
And they are just wholly unprepared for this shit.
It's amazing he had that idea for that long. I mean, because this comes so much like later in his career.
Well, you know, this wasn't a cheap movie to make, so
that's true.
He's got to build up the the rep to, you know, spend this kind of budget.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, would you? I mean, I guess this has got to be close to peak, maybe on, you know, as it's coming down, maybe career wise.
Stiller? No.
Yeah. No?
Close to peak, I would say, is more accurate. Yeah.
Close to peak? Okay. Because I feel like
this movie made good bank. So
Yeah, no, it did. It did. I want to say Dodgeball was probably when he reached his zenith, or that. Yeah, probably.
So Dodgeball's a funny one because it's not really like, it's just a movie he acted in.
Right.
So I feel weird for even including that one. I mean, Stiller is an underrated actor, both
really
dramatic
is.
and in comedies. And just a wholly underrated director. I mean, the dude is really good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, just watch Severance if you haven't had a chance.
I know. I started it a couple of times, and it's a slow start, and I do it in the wrong setting. So
yeah,
I'm hoping maybe this summer I can finally kind of get to it.
Just watch it without the wife. It's fine. She'll never even remember it.
I was gonna watch it without the wife. That was a foregone conclusion. I've kind of given up on that one. There's certain things we'll continue watching together that were pre my decision, and now it's just like I'm just gonna watch the stuff I want to watch at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard to match up schedules.
Yeah. So like, yeah, this is post Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Man, when did he do? Yeah, because then he's got the Night of the Museum sequels, and and the third Fockers movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is pretty much like where things start. Like he starts pivoting because he still makes money in some movies. Like, you know, the Tower Heist movie made money.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, they made money. And the Night at the Museum movies...
That movie was not good.
Yeah, well, I didn't love it either. But the Night at the Museum movies all made money, too.
Yeah,
like I
those
said,
are cute.
Those are jobs for him. That's not like something he's like super invested in. Like,
yeah.
I think he took the clout from this to do Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh, and I kind of dug that movie.
Me too.
Yeah, I didn't like... what was that movie now? Zoolander 2.
Yeah, I never even bothered watching it.
It's real bad. I had to turn it off, which is crazy because the first one is phenomenal.
Yeah, and he was
Although
saying
it didn't do well because of 9/11, but
the original. Yeah, well, it did much better afterwards when people actually were interested in seeing movies again.
yeah, people got back to it.
Hey, that's what happened with Austin Powers. The original Austin Powers didn't make a lot of money, but it did so well on rentals and everything.
Yeah,
it became a huge hit, and then the second one made like $100 million, and
yeah, it was
third
like a
one
big
even
thing.
more. But yes, he used the clout from this one to go ahead and make Walter Mitty, and that movie didn't make a ton of money.
Yeah,
I think that was supposed to be like a big Christmas, feel good movie and everything, and it just didn't happen for him. It's just too bad.
I think I remember seeing it over the holidays. Yeah,
it was a good movie. I just think people weren't like in the headspace for it or something like that at the time.
Or maybe they didn't realize the kind of movie it was.
I think that's probably too. Like if you're
yeah.
expecting a slapstick comedy thing, like from Stiller, I'm like, nope, that's not what he's doing this time.
No, it was way more heartfelt type of movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think mostly succeeded.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, so then he like, okay, well, everyone seemed to love Zoolander. I'll make a second Zoolander. And I don't think his heart was really in it. And I think he's more or less admitted that.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought I was just giving people what they wanted, but they didn't want it, so I was really shook. And now he's gotten into, he did that Escape from Dannemora show on like Showtime, which has got really great reviews. I never watched it, and then, I really would like to watch it. And Severance is a work of art. I mean, from top to bottom, the writing, the directing, the acting.
Is he a producer on it, or?
He's a producer, director.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's some of the best sci-fi I have seen. That's like, it's not like Star Trek sci-fi. It's like, Twilight Zone sci-fi.
I was just about to say Twilight Zone.
And it's like some of the best sci-fi I've seen since, Twilight Zone, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, that was...
Well, original Twilight Zone, I guess.
It's the only one I really reference, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So okay. And I think this is what? So this is 2008. So this is pretty fresh off of Robert Downey Jr.'s return.
Yeah.
And
this
his
is
resurrection.
Same year as Iron Man, or no? Year after Iron Man? I can't remember which.
Yeah, I think it's a bit. It might
no,
be
same year as Iron Man. Same year as Iron Man.
Same year, but it comes out after Iron. Like
yes.
Yeah.
Iron Man was like a May release.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think where Jack Black is at this point.
Oh, that's actually a good question.
Yeah, because that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, Jack Black. Let's see.
Because this is like
post... 2 years after Nacho Libre, which was a bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
And
it's definitely post Tenacious D's height.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is okay. Okay, so we're post the first Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
Actually, Kung Fu Panda came out the same year. I take it back.
Okay, this is a big year for him then.
Yeah, this is his follow up to like Be Kind Rewind.
I did not like that movie.
I never saw it. Oh no, sorry. Be Kind Rewind also came out this year. I take it back. So this is his follow up to The Holiday.
Oh, okay. That one has like some pull in the female community, that's for sure.
Sure. Well, in the romantic comedy lovers, let's not gender that specifically.
I don't remember disliking it, so it's been a while though.
Yeah, and it's 3 years after King Kong. I think he spent a lot of time making King Kong.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, so interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they all got their names on the posters. There was a reason why they all got there. They were
that's why I thought it was rightly that they all kind of got into our hero category, because I felt like they're all pretty billed evenly or pretty close to it. They all somewhat have a story that they're kind of going with each character too.
I think so Ben Stiller's character, and Robert Downey Jr.'s character definitely get the most arc. But this is a comedy, so it's not like
for sure.
No one. It's all surface level stuff. It's fine. Because
yeah.
they all provide great laughs.
They do. They all legit have their moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie's funny. But so yeah, so I guess we have Speedman, right?
Tug Speedman.
Tug Speedman, right? So he is like
played by Ben Stiller,
an Arnold type archetype. Like he is the action star. He's the action star.
He is an action star.
Stallone, whatever you want to go with. He's an action star.
It's always Cruise with him.
I guess, but they're trying to go with this more muscular.
Cruise is pretty muscular.
No, I know, but I don't know if Cruise.
I don't think
muscular, but
Cruise certainly never made a movie as stupid as Scorched.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. He's more in the line of like an Arnold and
Dwayne The Rock. Yeah,
like he's The Rock. Like that's the kind of gist they're going on with him. They really go out of their way to try to make his biceps really big. Like that's never really Tom Cruise's thing.
They definitely got him the baby oil on him.
Right. Yeah. I love how Ben Stiller could just bulk up out of nowhere. It's crazy to me. But anyway, so yeah. So
I mean, like even like in heavyweights, he's pretty jacked in heavyweights, isn't he?
I don't think he's jacked, but he's definitely ripped. If you get my difference, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like I think he gets more jacked in like dodgeball. Like he's pretty jacked in dodgeball. Yeah. He's pretty jacked in this movie.
So like in heavyweights, he's more like Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Yeah, he's versus, a leaner.
And this is more when he's and this is more him Brad Pitt in Troy.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're throwing down. Sure. Yeah.
Body mass
alone, right? I mean, it's crazy, and then he can go and do Meet the Parents, and he's like this normal looking guy, and then he's doing another movie, and like it's pretty crazy. Like everybody kind of goes on a lot of actors about what they have to do to their body. Like Ben Stiller's done a lot with his body back and forth. It's pretty impressive. But anyway, so Tug is this action star. He had some big hits in the day, but now he's made too many sequels that they're not doing so well, and he's looking to branch out in his career, and that hasn't gone very well. So this is like a last desperate, like trying to stay relevant ploy here.
Yeah, this is for him in Tropic Thunder. Yeah. Next we have Kirk Lazarus, played by Robert Downey Jr., doing some kind of Daniel Day-Lewis, Russell Crowe riff here.
Yeah, definitely. That's like the perfect mashup of what he's doing. Yes.
Yeah, a multi-award. I think they actually, either Stiller or Downey Jr. actually mentioned those. And he also, I think they mentioned Colin Farrell because he's supposed to be a bad boy too. I'm like, I didn't get any Colin Farrell in that one. Because I didn't get that like, Lazarus had any kind of drinking problem or was a partier. He's just like super serious with his craft.
Yeah, at least there's like one shot of like him walking down the street and getting to like a fight with like a going after dude.
That's more pro to me than anything Colin Farrell ever did.
I agree exactly. But that's like the only thing I get that maybe he would say something like that. But I agree, it's more Crow.
He's a multi-award winning actor. Yeah. Who goes so method he's willing to dye his skin and go through surgery to play a black man in this Vietnam War epic. He never breaks character until
he gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Well, it's
we'll get back to that one.
Yeah, anyway. Come on, that's such a great part. Yeah, anyway, really he never breaks character until he's recorded the DVD commentary.
I hear you going with it. That's another great line.
I didn't do it in the voice, though. I am going to try voices.
Oh, boy. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks. Next up, you got Jeff Portnoy, played by Jack Black.
Yeah, he's basically, I guess, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, from the Clumps movies. Yeah.
And that's what he's doing there. And so he's become kind of one note. Drug Habit, which I guess is not really an Eddie Murphy thing. But I guess
it's more of a, I think they were saying Chris Farley for that part, which, I don't think Chris Farley ever got to this extreme. But
no.
I don't remember hearing any stories of him like, I'm going to murder someone if I don't get some cocaine soon.
You're right. And then he's kind of having this moment of everybody thinks of me of this one way and laughs at me, and he wants to be taken differently. So that's why he's in this picture.
Right.
But also has had some flops and needs this to be successful.
I don't think he's had any flops. I think he's had some issues with the law.
No, I thought they said...
Because he was uninsurable because of the issues that he's had.
Right, uninsurable because the second one didn't do well.
Oh, did it? I missed that.
I think they said that too, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. My man loves cocaine.
Yeah. And then we got
Al Pacino.
It's not Al, right? It's Apacino or something like that.
Alpa.
Al Pacino. Yeah, there we go. Who's a
played by Brandon T. Jackson.
Right, and he's like
he's a hip hop star,
an
right? Influencer, and now turned actor.
Right, he's got his own drink line and everything. He's trying to make as much money as possible, so he's branching out to have more and more influence. That's why he's here.
He's also secretly gay and afraid to come out since his whole image is based on being a sex-crazed misogynist.
Right. Which you do find out a bit later, which they don't really hint at all.
No.
Until it starts to come out, which is interesting. But anyway.
And like even then, like, you know, there's like momentary gay panic, but then like the joke doesn't end up being on him at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, progress. This is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last we have Kevin Sandusky, played by Jay Baruchel.
Yeah.
It was a first-time actor who is intimidated and in awe of his co-stars until he gets to know them.
Right. And he's really here just to prop up himself in the industry and maybe get laid.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. He's the only one in the group who took the time to do the actor boot camp. So he's the only one with like basic survival skills among the group.
Right. And some sort of intelligence, it seems.
This is a great role for Baruchel. I forgot how good he was in this.
Yeah, he's really good in this. Yeah,
I mean, agree. Goon is still his masterpiece, but this is up there for him.
I agree. I think he was pretty good in what's that End of the World movie?
Damn it! That's gonna drive me insane.
He was pretty good in that movie too.
That's a movie I really need to rewatch.
Yeah.
This is the end.
And his very small role in Knocked Up was really funny.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course he's got the How to Train Your Dragon movies that were big hits.
Huge hits, yeah.
My coworker is obsessed with She's Out of Your League. And I don't get it.
I've never seen it.
Really? It's it's not like it's a bad movie, but he talks it up like it's like the greatest movie, like one of the greatest movies ever made, and it's weird. But anyway,
maybe he just likes looking at Alice Eve, which I could understand, but I couldn't.
That's totally fair.
Recommend a movie just because of that. I don't know.
But no, I don't. That's not usually what he gravitates to when he talks about the movie.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
So, what did you give Our Heroes?
I gave Heroes a 4.
Okay, I went 3.5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just think there were. I mean, yeah, it's a comedy movie, so it's not like you're looking for anything any deeper. But I like that they all had like a thing. Like there was clearly something for them to go through. Throughout the movie, they all had their time to shine. Like they all were funny. It's kind of hard to really knock it too much.
Yeah. No, and honest, Tug Speedman and Kirk Lazarus are definitely like characters that I will remember and think about for a while.
Without a doubt. Shockingly, I mean, I knew the Tug Speedman character and Kirk Lazarus character were going to be hilarious as I remembered it when I watched it originally and such. But the character that made me laugh so much more is what's his name? The John Baruchel, not John Baruchel.
Jay Baruchel.
Jay Baruchel character made me laugh a lot more this time around than I remember
the
first time.
Yeah, Kevin was really great.
and there is some great stuff with Jack Black in this movie that I think I didn't really give it much appreciation the first time around. But I really liked more this time around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like this movie. I think this is only my second time rewatching it. So yeah, I enjoyed it even more the second time. And I wouldn't be shocked if I went up even higher if I did a third watch later on.
Fair enough.
So let's get into the fun stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I should just start from the beginning or just go off my favorites. I don't know where to go with it.
So the movie starts out giving us commercials and trailers of our stars' previous work.
It's so good.
We start off with Al Pacino, which is a perfectly funny and stupid rap nom de guerre.
Oh, yeah.
And we have him in a commercial hawking Booty Sweat energy drink and Bust-a-Nut energy bar.
Yeah.
I might try the bar. I'm not gonna lie.
And just over the top dancing, like something you'd see.
Yeah, butts in his face all over the thing.
Yeah,
It's just,
late 90s, like early 2000s, all over like that style of music video.
apparently, it was like the last thing they shot for the movie.
Oh, really?
They had to bring Brandon in on on Thanksgiving Day, and then they flew him out so he could go back home to family in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a way to do your Thanksgiving on. But it's
Right. It's like you just think, what are you thankful for? It's like, I had butts in my face like 2 hours ago. This is so weird.
I think the best part of that stuff is how it keeps coming back throughout the movie. Like the continuous jokes about booty sweat and stuff like that. Like as it goes throughout the movie it's like the gift that keeps on giving with this movie.
Yeah, lots of booty sweat.
Yeah, a lot of booty sweat, especially when other characters start chiming in on it, or even when he's like trying to advertise it in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny stuff with it, but I'm trying to remember. There's a Kirk Lazarus line with it later. It's really funny. I hope I can find it in my notes.
Next, we have a succession of trailers for each entry in the Scorcher franchise.
Yeah.
And the joke ends perfectly with like, the man who made a difference 5 times before is about to make a difference again. Only this time, it's different. Scorcher 6 Global Meltdown. I really miss movie trailer voiceovers.
Yeah.
We need to bring them back.
We do. I don't think they'll ever come back.
I don't think so either, but they
got
were great.
Down to a formula that they like too much at this point. And it's kind of ruining things because they show too much. But I agree. I do miss them. Especially because like there's just so much comedy to it. I swear. The way he's also goes again. They just like throw down again like 3 or 4 more times.
Again, yeah.
It's just. What was the line to it? Is like somebody left open the fridge or something.
Yeah, because instead of it being really hot on this planet, it has now become like, I don't know,
Global
Ice Age
meltdown as the voiceover goes.
And like the first one, he's got like
a baby or something,
strapped
and it's like
and
a
gun,
like
and
2 babies,
and
the
the last one has got 2
babies.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
like 2 guns.
I gotta tell you, Tim, I think I would have had to commit seppuku if I had to watch a Farties movie.
If you had to watch what?
A Farties movie.
A Farties movie? Oh yeah, it's. Well, it's a total riff on the second Nutty Professor movie.
Right, the clumps.
Yeah, it is exact, because I remember being in the theater for the second one, being like, "Ooh boy, like this."
I didn't even see the second one.
I did,
despite my love for Janet Jackson. I like I didn't love the original, but I'm gonna skip this.
I liked the original. I saw the second one in the Jefferson Valley Mall, and
nice.
I did not dig it. And I thought this little preview nailed what the issues were of that movie, basically.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's literally just a bunch of fat people and farting. It's like,
yep,
okay,
yep, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and Jack Black is like not. It's that one didn't make me laugh, and it's not. I didn't think it was that funny. It's more just like ugh.
Well, you know what?
His humor comes later with it. I think.
It was too real.
Exactly.
Yeah, these movies exist. Like
exactly. That one didn't get me. The next one.
Oh my God!
Is
the next
best one. It is the best one.
Kirk Lazarus' newest movie, Satan's Alley. About gay monks, and having Tobey Maguire play opposite Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant. Wonder Boys, gay lovers reuniting.
The faces that they put on themselves, like especially when they're like fingering
when he's cupping the rosary beads,
the rosary and stuff, and the faces.
I lost it when he cupped the rosary beads.
It's perfect.
And then playing Enigma's song "Sadness" over this, just an extra bit of like. Oh my God.
You could not get better. I thought that trailer was perfect. Everybody's seen a preview from that era that was like, or earlier era of this movie that was like that. And just, it was so funny. It's hard to say who had the best kind of small side character cameo stuff, but Toby is a really small part and it's amazing.
Hilariously enough, apparently he was like a last minute addition. They called him in as like a quick favor. Whoever was supposed to do that part, a smaller actor apparently had to quit, back out or whatever. So Toby, friendly with Robert Downey Jr., I guess, from Wonder Boys, and he's like, "Hey, are you nearby? Can you?" Like, yeah. And they had him for like 2 hours or something like that, and like he had to go be in Australia or something to go shoot something else.
Nailed it.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And then we get the voiceover for what this movie is from Nick Nolte.
Yeah, which is also really great. It really brings the movie like into your feel of what you need.
And Tim, I don't know, we are both history buffs, so like there's stuff in this narration we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So in the winter of 1969, I'm not going to do a Nolte voice. I will die.
You'd have to start chain smoking.
Yeah, for real. In the winter of 1969, that state's important, an elite force of the U.S. Army was sent on a top secret assignment in Southeast Vietnam?
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Those are our Vietnamese. What are we doing?
Yep.
So they went just like outside Saigon.
I don't know. It made no sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it almost brings more humor later when you find out.
Yeah,
it's
it's
lies.
all perfect. Yeah. Like how did nobody see this? But then it goes on. The objective to rescue Sergeant Florleaf Tayback from a heavily guarded North Vietnamese prison camp in the southeast.
Yeah.
The mission was considered to be near suicide. Of the 10 men sent, 4 returned. Of those 4, 3 wrote books about what happened. Of those 3, 2 were published. Of those 2, just 1 got a movie deal. This is the story of the men who attempted to make that movie.
So funny.
Four-leaf teabag. And then we get the opening of the big epic war scene or whatever.
Right, and you got the helicopters descending, and there's lots of fighting going on and everything, and
it's just an impressive amount of gore.
Yeah, agreed.
Just geysers of blood shooting out of one guy's head, and then poor Kevin getting blown up and trying to collect his guts. I think I could put it back in.
What is this?
Yeah, he's literally holding up his guts. What is it? It's great. They're gonna put it back in. And then you have Tug portraying Four-Leaf with his hands recently blown off after smacking a grenade in air, and he asks Link to hold it. Well, hold on. Even before that, I take it back. I really should mention the hilarious platoon joke where he gets shot multiple 50 times. Goddamn times.
Yeah,
but somehow still alive.
Throwing the arms up thing the whole time is great. I haven't rewatched Platoon in
I was just thinking
maybe.
Man, that scene is like the saddest goddamn scene when Defoe dies.
Yeah, it is.
So, it's like, but this is such a perfect joke on it too. It's like goddamn. Anyway, yeah. So he's got his hands blown off now after hitting the grenade, and he asks Link to hold his hands because he's something important to say. So Link grabs his stumps. And for this, when we get back to the world, I'm going to teach you how to juggle. And then Lazarus portraying Link just starts snot crying all over him.
It's great because he starts trying to stop it because he's it's too much and he can't cry himself or whatever.
Yeah, he tries trying himself trying to match it and he can't. And he's like, all right, this isn't working.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, let's go again. Ready to go again? Let's go again. And then he just immediately just spits snot and blows it into his face.
Yeah,
right. He's like, oh, right to start again. It's so good.
This is what's so great about what Stiller did with this character. He is stupid, but he's not Zoolander stupid.
Right.
So he's got enough self-awareness and everything like that to realize when he's in over his head and when where he could be annoyed at somebody for legit reasons, not just ego reasons. So this is
right.
This is really fun. I love it when he is raises the intelligence of the character like this, but
I
can still be
agree.
playing stupid at the same time.
Because even like it's not like they're saying that Tug is the lone stupid one, because
no, they're all dumb actors.
They're all dumb. Like they all get caught into being pretty dumb. I think Alpa is probably the only one that doesn't get caught in being dumb that much.
The least amount, yeah. Well, yeah, Kevin probably.
Kevin is the least, but I don't. He's not like any of the stars, even though he's part of the group. So, but yeah, I think it's pretty fair on how they all look. They all get their turn of looking pretty dumb.
Yeah. I chuckled when the director was told they were 5 days into shooting and a month behind schedule.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty bad. And I mean everything too with what was his character's name with the pyrotechnics?
Cody,
that's what it was. I don't know why I didn't get his name earlier, but yeah, Cody.
Because when you see him it's Danny McBride, you're like, it's Danny McBride.
The amount of lines in such a short amount of period he gets in that intro and that opening is pretty astounding too. It's just like line after line where like, don't you guys speak American? And like,
he's just yelling at his assistants.
Yeah, commenting and yelling at them for being dumb and all this kind of stuff. And then like, they drop it. It's like Mother Nature pissed her pantsuit. It's just like, it's just amazing one after the other.
Yeah. I mean, Danny McBride is
a genius.
If I have one criticism of this movie, and I will criticize basically every movie about this, should have had more Danny McBride.
Yeah.
So like, Tug's a little put out after listening that scene and whatnot didn't work out, and intimidated by Kirk, and he starts talking to his agent on the phone, and the agent tries to get his mind off things and asks him how the adoption is going. Tug says not well, and Rick replies, well, at least you get to choose yours. I'm stuck with mine.
You see this picture of this like doofus looking kid,
like an absolute goober of a kid who has nothing in common with his dad. It's almost like I don't know, a version of the character of Christopher Walken and his son in Wedding Crashers.
Yes. Yeah,
like it's that level of like, these are two completely different people.
Yeah.
And like, how are they related?
Yeah, exactly. I was almost thinking of that movie Bad Moms, and
I've never seen Bad Moms, but yes, please go on.
Never mind. Well, what's her name? I forget her name too. The one that played Agatha in the Marvel stuff recently.
Catherine Hahn.
Thank you. Her son in that movie. I guess there was two of them. Never mind. But anyway, in those movies, she has a son that reminds me of exactly what is supposed to be going on in this movie. But yeah, and it even comes up again later when you see the return home. The son is there. This
is my other criticism. Is like, they should have milked this joke more because it was really funny.
It was pretty funny.
Like, I could watch an entire movie of Matthew McConaughey being disappointed in his son, just like not having his vibes at all.
Because you have Matthew McConaughey, who could not be a cooler, like masculine, just awesome, cool, loving,
charismatic,
dude, right?
Yeah, and like there's like
Gorgeous
this drip
man.
of a son.
Yeah, it's like this doesn't make any sense.
You have a feeling that if you like threw a frisbee at this kid, he just let it fall. And it's like,
yeah, or it like hit him by accident, and you're like, what? Like, yeah.
I lost it when I saw the picture.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny. And then he goes on about the TiVo. Did you not get your TiVo? It is in your contract.
That's the worst, in my opinion, the worst running joke in the movie, and I did not like it at all. The TiVo really dates the movie, doesn't it?
It does date the movie. I agree that the joke is not good until the end, towards the end of the movie, and he just randomly shows up to save the day and throws the TiVo. I laughed. That
does not work for me at all. But all right.
No, that one made me laugh. I disagree. That one I thought was funny.
Cool.
I thought it was like one of those things where like it was like we said in earlier episodes about Family Guy, where you're like, this joke is not funny, but you keep going with it until it's made funny, and that's what I felt in that
moment. Yeah. After the botched pyrotechnics display in the beginning of the movie, the director is set up on a conference call with the head of the studio, Les Grossman.
Oh, yes.
Les asks who the director is. Then he raises his hand and he sizes him up. Then he asks, "Who is the key grip?" And when a dude raises his hand, Les says, "Hit that director in the face really fucking hard." The key grip goes over, and he's just like, "Sorry," punches him in the face, and like the grunt that Les gives off after he gets like, "Ugh!" So good. The energy Cruz has in this is just off the charts amazing.
It is phenomenal. I don't know, like it's weird because I definitely did not, when I first saw the movie, I did not notice that it was Tom Cruise at first.
Get the hell out of here, really?
At first I didn't, but eventually I did. Like it wasn't like it took me that long, but I was like, oh wait a minute, like it was one of those.
It definitely looks like not him, and they didn't promote the movie with him in it at all. It was a big surprise. So you're probably not far crazy for that, but it's so goddamn good. The performance is amazing.
Because it was like not in any of the previews or anything like that.
No, they hid this and it was good. It was smart.
And there was like a whole lot more of it. Like he's probably one of the biggest side character billings there is with this.
The real Four Leaf, played by Nick Nolte, gives the director the idea to shoot the movie guerrilla style. Yeah. Go off the grid, force the reality of war into the spoiled actors. Shit. That was a really good Nolte, Tim.
Thank you. I can't do it again. I might die.
Yeah, that's fair. So get him away from the distractions, and so they do that. They get him on a helicopter and they take him out of the middle of nowhere. And they're all in a helicopter traveling.
And by the way, I love that they're playing that song, and it's funny, and maybe you'll only think it's funny, but like as soon as they play, I'm like, they're playing this song? Because I only know that song because of Blade 2. And so it's just this weird thing. Like,
is it the name of the game? Is that the one? Yeah.
Yep. And it's like, this is just Blade 2. I can only think of Blade 2.
I don't know. I feel like that was in a million trailers too.
Oh no, I don't know. It's the only thing I could think of, and it like weirdly sucked me out of the movie for a second because I just couldn't stop thinking about Blade 2. I'm like, man, I really want to watch Wesley Snipes kick some ass right now. I don't know.
It's never a bad time for that.
That's very true.
So then Damien talks to the actors in the helicopter. "You are no longer actors in a movie. You are 5 men in a helicopter with 3 other men."
Yeah.
That's great.
His death in general is
that's
fantastic.
What I was getting into now.
Yeah. And then just him going off and "I am God," and then he goes and steps, what? And boom.
I forgot he says "I am God" with that too. That's so good. Yeah, they arrive in the middle of the jungle. There's like a little clearing or whatever they land in, and they drop the actors off. I love Jeff. Is just like it's too high, and then, like I think Damien like just kicks him off the helicopter.
and that's where Jack Black really starts to be funny. I mean, there is that little part in the beginning after the thing was blown. He's hanging and he's like ah. But then, like, when he gets kicked, you start to get the real beginnings of, like, oh my God. Like, he almost does a lot more physical comedy with his cadence that's really funny.
So Damien starts giving a rousing speech, get them excited about the kind of movie they're going to make, and then promptly steps on a landmine. And the little O noise he makes as he steps, it fucking kills me every goddamn time.
It's funny.
I've seen this. It's like, oh. It's so goddamn good. Coogan kills that little part. It's so good.
And that's it. Like he's out.
That's definitely it.
He does.
Once again, impressive gore. He just blows up.
And then you have like the whole thing with Tug is like, it's just a prop. But like the only thing that kind of ruins it is like so obviously a fake head in that moment. Like it's such an unrealistic looking thing.
Yeah, but you got like the looks on everyone else's face.
Right, that sells it. But the best part of it is Kirk. Like later, as he's like Tug is like convincing them all, like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, and they all walk off, and then all of a sudden Kirk it pans back to Kirk, like, wait a minute, this motherfucker is dead. Like it just goes, that's so funny.
So yeah, he like Tug like. Literally like picks up the head with his barrel of his gun and is trying to. It's like, I've been on lots of action movies. I know this is fake. You know, this blood just tastes like blood flavored corn syrup. And then he keeps on putting it in his mouth, and everyone's like, oh. And he starts like dancing the head on the barrel out of the gun and everything like that. And he's just sharing them all like, it's, they're all, this is just Damien doing his thing. It's all fake. He's just playing God. And, God, I had it written down. What is it? Lazarus said, oh, yeah. He ain't playing God. He's being judged by him.
Oh, my God. There's so many funny lines.
And then Tug's like, well, if this is all fake, why are you still in character? If this is all real, why are you still in character? It's like, man, I don't drop character until my DVD commentary.
But I love to, like, even before he says that line, as soon as he says that, like, he says the line of, like, why are you still in character?
The flicker of recognition in his eyes.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Downey just does such a good job of, like, questioning his entire existence in that moment before all of a sudden he gives that line.
It's just what's so impressive about this. It's probably why he got nominated for Academy Award. Yeah. Because it's a really big character, but there is like lots of subtle work in the eyes where he's just like, it's really funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Like the recognition of humanity, like, uh-oh. And we cut to Cody, the pyrotechnics operator in Four Leaf, trying to observe the actors from a really long distance.
Yeah.
And Cody is a fan of Four Leaf's book and tries to tell him what he knows, what it's like to lose an appendage in the line of duty. Turns out he lost his pinky finger while making his first movie, Driving Miss Daisy. And then he tries to bond with him some more and compliments Four Leaf's gun and asks him what kind it is. And Four Leaf's like, I don't know what it's called. I just know the voice. I just know the noise it makes when it takes a man's life. It's just... I should have had you do the line. You do it much better, Nolte.
Oh, thank you.
Not a voice I planned on doing.
It's hard, man, and it really messes your throat up.
Yeah, I think I went to like Sling Blade there.
Yeah, I know. It did sound a little.
I just went to try it. I was like, oh, didn't prepare for this. This is a bad move. Anyway, it turns out the actors have been dropped into the territory of like a heroin cartel. Later, we find out it's called the Crimson. What are they called again? Golden Dragons?
Oh yeah, something like that.
I have it written down later. Anyway, yeah. Heroin cartel. And the cartel fairly assumes that the actors are DEA. So they start shooting at them. And the actors, now semi-convinced by Doug that this is all part of the movie, fire back with their blanks. And each of the stupid idiots chooses a different dramatic action pose.
Right. All stupid ones, like full-on chests, like out as you're shooting with one arm, like kind of Rambo style.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite is Alpa's, where he does like a little Michael Jackson kick.
Yeah.
Cody hears the shooting, so he assumes it's time to light up the pyrotechnics he placed in the tree line around the actors and shouts, "Big ass titties!" And as he hits the button, all the explosives go off around the tree line that the cartel were hiding in.
Yeah.
And Zine.
There's a part in there, I can't remember if it's before or after this, where Tug and Kirk are talking, and he's trying to I can't remember what he's saying. Darn. He's like trying to explain to him the situation he's in or whatever, and trying to get Kirk to like feel for him a little bit. And like Kirk is just like, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like pistol whipping a blind kid. And we got to shave your head and get you back on the monkey bars. And then he just gives this look of like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And it's a great Ben Stiller look. But anyway, I just want to mention that.
Yeah, I love when Tug says like, load and lock when he's all confident about like, let's go. I got this. I got the map. Let's go. And like this whole time, like Jeff has been occasionally disappearing to hit a line of cocaine that he's hitting in a repurposed small bag candy.
Yeah, man, I just have to have more jelly beans. Oh, I love jelly beans. Can I have some? No, you fucking can't.
No, you can't have any fucking jelly beans. It's so good.
It is great. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't like recognize all the like some great Jack Black delivery, which is hilarious in that movie.
Yeah. So yeah, like you were talking, I think this is the part where Kirk and Tug start bonding, talking about acting.
Yeah.
And Tug describes what it was like going method for his Simple Jack movie.
Oh yeah.
And like Kirk sympathizes. You was farting in bathtubs and laughing your ass off.
You went all out, swung for the fences.
And this is when Kirk does his infamous "never go full retard" monologue.
Yeah,
and I'm
at times I really felt retarded to be a moron, like the dumbest motherfucker who ever lived.
I am loath to use the word, but since the joke is entirely on the actors,
it is,
and Hollywood at large, and not MR people, I am both okay with it and think it's hilarious.
Very resistant of ever repeating it. But yeah, it's kind of hard not to in this situation.
Plus, this scene makes fun of Tim's least favorite actor in Hollywood, Sean Penn, and his performance in I Am Sam. Tim couldn't love this movie anymore.
My reaction in the theater when I first saw this, when he calls out Sean Penn and I Am Sam, and I was just like, I just feel so seen.
I honestly cannot. I wish I could have been there.
It was great.
I'm pretty sure if we'd been sitting next to each other, you would grab my arm, just
yeah, probably. do you see him obnoxiously tapping you?
Yeah, you would have been Leo pointing at the screen.
Exactly. Probably worse than I was when we watched G.I. Joe together and they said "Yo, Joe."
Oh, you just laughed in my face?
I just turned and laughed at you.
Yeah, they're ruining your childhood cartoon. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
So Cody gets concerned when he hasn't heard from Damien in a while. So he and Four Leaf go back to the drop point to check on them, and that's to discover what's left of Damien. And Cody starts freaking out. He's like, I almost blinded Jamie Lee Curtis on Freaky Friday. This shit will ruin me.
Yeah, and I love how Nick Nolte's character's like, oh, it was all you. You did it. This is all.
Yeah, he's trying to run away.
Because he's immediately recognizing he's in over his head here.
Yeah. And then they realize it was a old French landmine that Damien stepped on. Oh, no, that's later on. I think Kevin tells him.
No,
but whatever.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, they all both get captured by the cartel at this point. Captured. And that's where we discover that Four Leaf has been pretending to be a W amputee this whole time.
Right.
And his entire story is bullshit.
Which, again, Danny McBride's reaction to all of that is hilarious.
It really is. And Nolte does a really good job of this from going he's doing a Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now or something.
Right.
Like that. His grizzled, I've seen the horror. And all of a sudden to become feeble idiot.
Yeah. Well, he's almost bumbling over his lines.
He almost becomes the dude in the Big Lebowski. It's I was in the Coast Guard. I think maybe the best Jack Black bit in the movie. Or a random bat swoops down and steals Jeff's cocaine.
It's great. It's actually a callback to me of Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Where he's fighting this bat in the periphery as other dialogue and things are happening. And it's really funny. It's right out of Temple of Doom, but it's still really good. It's good cadence and everything.
That's right. He's getting the low. He's either talking to Short Round or getting the lowdown from Village or something like that. And,
right.
What's her name?
I know. I didn't say because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. It's like a boy name almost.
That's what I was thinking. The same thing. It's a boy. It's been too long since I've seen Temple of Doom. That's gonna kill me.
I have to look it up.
I'm doing it now.
I was trying to avoid this because I was having the same problem.
Kate Capshaw, I can't remember her actress name, wife of Steven Spielberg. Actually, Willie Scott.
Willie.
It is, yeah. Temple of Doom is great, by the way. It was the second best Indiana Jones movie.
I love how you come around because I defended that movie for a very long time.
Yeah, you know what? When you're a little kid and you're a wuss like I was, you're just kind of freaked out about somebody getting their heart ripped out. As you get older, you realize, wait, this movie is amazing.
I was kind of a wimp about things horror-wise, but I loved Temple of Doom as a kid.
And you were the opposite in the beginning.
Yeah.
You were nothing phases me, and then turned into a wimp. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then you came back again.
And then I came back. Thank you.
I think Aaron, our sister, desensitized him to because Tim was like a little kid, and all the older, our sister's a little old, like 7 years older than me.
Close to a decade for me.
Yeah, and so like Tim was just a cute kid to have around the older kids.
Yeah.
So like while they're having like a sleepover watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Tim's just like a little mascot they could play with, like a dog.
Right.
Like, look at him. He's just watching this with us. This is funny.
I'm watching some person get murdered in an elevator.
And Tim's too young to even know what's going on. He's like, okay, it's fine. And I'm like hiding in my room, like scary movie is happening in this house.
Right. And I remember too, like we went and saw like Under Siege, and you were like, I'm not cool with all this knife, death, kill going on. And I'm like, ooh. Like,
yeah, well, yeah, I never wanted to see, and I knew bad things were going to happen when Steven Seagal got a hold of a knife.
And then swap.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the scene. Like, yeah, the whole time in the background, Jack Black, Jeff, is chasing after this bat who has stolen his cocaine. And it's like yelling, like, anyone gonna help me? Come on! I gotta get my jelly beans!
Oh, come on! Like, it's just going off. The cadence and everything, the delivery is out of this world in what he's doing here.
And then the bat drops. And, and Jeff's like, ha! You OD'd!
And he's trying to eat the bat to get
the
drugs out of his system.
all the cocaine is gone, so he takes a bite out of the bat. It's like, ah! It's so good.
It's so funny. And then like you cut to it's a Tug being like in the wilderness or whatever, and he's like lost clearly.
Oh, even before that.
Yeah.
Kind of like in comic groups, because I guess they're all still together at this point. Yeah, they're lost, and Kirk is onto it, and he decides it's a fake pee while talking to Kevin about stealing the map from Tug, because Kevin's the only one he thinks knows how to read a map because he went to the boot camp. And after Kirk is done, he says to the rest of the group, "That smelled like bologna for some reason."
Oh, so terrible.
Anyway,
I thought you were gonna go over how Tug like uses like the booty sweat to pretend.
That's what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Tug grabs a booty sweat and like sticks it with his knife and to pretend like even more like realistic peeing or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the most unrealistic look from everybody else, and clearly they all like think, oh well, he's clearly talking about something. But yeah, they go their separate ways. But I thought the next like funniest part at least was after he kills the panda.
No, I'm sorry. There's some great stuff before this.
Okay, I have other stuff, but this was my next like big highlight.
Probably right. But the first you got the confrontation at the river when like they know that Tug has gotten them lost.
Right.
And Tug is like, what's the matter with you people? And that's her.
Yeah. That I thought we kind of did that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then,
that was from the trailer.
Right.
Yeah, it's still good.
And then as they're like about to leave with the map now following Kevin, Tug he's like, we're supposed to be a unit.
Oh, yeah.
And Kirk says, suck my unit.
Yeah.
Suck my unit. And then we get montages of them both like separate, Tug by himself and the rest of the group in the jungle. I love the bit with Kevin giving the lowdown to the group during a walking montage about the battle of Blu-ray versus HD DVD.
Oh, yeah. He's like, hey, were you talking to me? Were you talking that shit?
You were talking to me this whole time? Shh, Jesus Christ.
No, because I think everybody's had that experience at some point in time. We were like, whoa, that horrible, boring crap you were just talking about, that was directed at me? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like,
and then later on, you have Alpa had enough of Kirk staying in character and shouts, "You're Australian! Be Australian!"
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, Kangaroo Jack. And then Alpa hops away off camera. And the look on Downey's face where he's like, it's good.
We might as well go to it now because they come back to this debate and argument later.
Right.
And he does the whole like, and they had to hire a Crocodile Dundee.
Okay, wait.
To play the black man or whatever, right?
Yeah, they get into an argument and Lazarus asks like, why is Alpa even making a movie? And Alpa responds, maybe I just had to represent since they had one good part for a black man in this movie and they gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Whoa, the brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure.
And the quick change on Downey's face to like super serious, like I'm offended. Perfect. Perfect.
And then he does the dingo ate your baby kid. And he's like, yo, now you actually crossed the line. You know that's
a real story. Yeah. Cry in the Dark, great movie. You should see it.
I actually saw the beginning of that movie, but not saw everything. But and I love it says, and then he says something about a koala, and then that's when Robert Downey Jr. had enough, or Kirk had enough, and he slaps him across the face.
That's right, yeah.
It's just so funny. And then he like misses trying to hit him back, and then like he catches the punch or whatever. It's like he starts like saying something back to him. He's like, "That's the theme song from the Jeffersons." Just because the theme song doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then the looks on his face every time he says these lines is so funny.
Yeah. Because he's got this like shit-eating grin, like, it's fine, right? It's so good. All right, so now we get into the panda.
Yeah, I love the so he's like in this downpour. He made himself like a little like shelter or whatever, and it's like pitch black out there, and you hear all these sounds, and it's like, oh no, something's gonna come to get him. And then he's in this tussle altercation, but the camera, you don't see anything, and all of a sudden he finally makes like a killing blow.
He stabs it like 10 times or more.
All of a sudden the smash cut look to this panda's face is amazing, because it's such this like dumb look on
I don't know how they got the look on the face of the panda. It's like
it's amazing.
It died of shock and horror instead of being stabbed. It's so.
And you see in the beginning of the movie that's like his one big cause is pandas or whatever.
Yeah, conservation of pandas, and like Tug just no.
And then he's got a satellite phone. They do show at the beginning he's got a satellite phone, but he finally uses the satellite phone to call his manager.
I think the manager calls him, but yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I killed what I love most. And he's like, you killed a hooker. Oh no. And the whole like you killed a hooker thing was so funny.
Well, you're burying the lead in this, because the next morning Tug has skinned the panda and is now using its head as a hat. And he has put blackout on his face so he resembles a panda. He's like, I killed one, Rick. The thing I love most in the world. A hooker. All right, you killed a hooker. All right, here's what you're going to do. Get your hands on some bleach, hydrogen peroxide, and a shit ton of lime. No, a panda. A panda!
No, first he's like, Amanda?
Yeah.
Wait, why are you getting hookers' first names,
That's
man?
right, yeah.
And he's like, no, a panda. Oh,
It's like, why are you screwing me like that?
It's so funny.
Let's see. Tug gets captured by the heroin cartel and is surprised that they have seen Simple Jack.
Yeah.
But is in extra disbelief that they actually have a VHS copy of it. It's like, VHS?
Well, at first he thinks it's like legit, and then he's like, all right, let's go do the torture scene. And then like you see the shot of him getting dunked in the water and coming back out, and he's like yelling, "God, God!"
Yeah, Damien, God.
Yeah.
And then Kirk tries to give an inspirational speech to encourage the group to help save Tug from the cartel.
Yeah.
And says, what would have happened in The Great Escape if Steve McQueen and them dudes turned tail and ran? And Kevin responds like, well, that's what the movie was about.
Yeah,
they were escaping. They ran away. And this like...
That's not the point.
This shakes like Kirk's confidence a bit. And he says, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little boy playing with his dick when he's nervous. And the look on Baruchel's face, like this what the fuck look, is amazing.
Well, that's how I'd say, like, his character gets so much better as it goes, as he's more exposed to their insecurities and how they're all really stupid.
Yeah.
And he just has more and more, like, comments or looks of, like, the hell's wrong with you people? Like, and then eventually he gets so broken down to it, because even, like, during the action sequence, he's like, all right, we don't have time for this. All right, let's just go. Just bring them. Like, because, like, Tug is, like, completely broken down and lost it. And like they try to talk to him and it doesn't work, and then they're like, "All right, just bring it, just bring him. Let's just go." Like,
Well, let's get into since the cartel figured out who Tug was, they called the number in his satellite phone and demanded a ransom for his return.
Oh, please tell me you have the full line for line here.
I do not have the full line for line.
I can find it. Hold on. I have to.
So Les takes over negotiations while Rick is in his office demanding a TiVo be hooked up in Tug's room on set as per his contract. And Les immediately hangs up on them. When they call back, they demand even more money. And Les, who had been like hanging around waiting for this call, he's reading like Maxim magazine. just hangs up on the guy and says, "We don't negotiate with terrorists." And the entire room just like mechanically applauds. and Rick is freaking out that the Golden Dragons are going to kill Tug. And that's when Les kicks everyone else out of the room and lays his evil plan down to Rick.
Right.
We're going to let Tug die and recoup the losses in insurance money.
You're going to get a G4 jet or something.
G5. G5.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But he does all this with this great villain lighting. Half of his face is in shadow. And with his assistant played by Bill Hader dancing together to Flow Rider's Low while seducing Rick with a G5 jet to keep him quiet. Big dick player, swinging past your knees.
That's what I have to say. Like in that moment, I probably thought originally that Tom Cruise is the funniest thing in that scene. But the second time around, I was like, actually, Bill Hader's hilarious in this moment.
The voice that Hader has decided to use in this movie is, since you know what Hader sounds like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, swinging past your knees, just like it killed me.
Can I read the line?
Sure.
Can I try it? This is okay. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face. I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head down there and I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you. You're going to have to call the fucking United Nations to get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I'm talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up. And like everyone has this look of like, holy shit. I am horrified. Even the freaking like people holding the hostage are like, oh my God. Like they have this look of like, that is terrifying.
I listen, Robert Downey Jr. is great in this movie. He really is. Tom Cruise is the one that should have been nominated. This is an amazing performance.
It is outstanding. Like it's so like I have never seen this, and this dude is terrifying in this moment.
It's funny it take something like this to like remind everyone like, yo, Tom Cruise is a really, really good actor when and just you're taking him for granted on just enjoying these Mission Impossible movies. He's more interested in doing that right now because that's the only reason he's doing it is because that's what interests him. Yeah. And when he's interested in deciding wants to do like serious acting again, he's gonna blow some people's minds.
Yeah, but sometimes he still doesn't quite get it, right? He's still like, or gets overlooked, and then he's like, well, then F this, and then he'll go back to a Mission Impossible or something. But he still turned out like a gem of a performance, and like I feel like sometimes it gets overlooked.
Oh, he does. I mean, there's been multiple times where he probably should. I think Magnolia, a movie I don't like, he should have won the Oscar for.
Right. Phenomenal in it.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't he get nominated too for another kind of political one that he did? But then I felt like the movie got mostly ignored, and then again, I think he did.
Talking of Lions for Lambs or whatever.
Maybe I don't remember.
No, he did not get nominated for that. The movie was.
I thought there was another nomination he got, but anyway.
He's been nominated a couple times.
Yeah.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's earlier, but yeah, I thought it was after Magnolia he got nominated for something else. Maybe it was a Golden Globe. I don't remember. But anyway, it's great. It's a great performance.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's just the energy and that he has, the power. You feel the strength of him, and it's also just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man.
Here's a funny Kevin Sandusky line I completely forgot about.
Okay.
But, you guys all read the script, right? I don't read the script. The script reads me. What the hell does that even mean? You getting at what you getting at with the book scripts? Spit that shit out, man.
So let's see. Okay, so all right, yeah, the Tug is forced to do a live performance of Simple Jack, which is the gangster's favorite movie. And
this is the only thing they have, really.
Yeah. The line that he has in this head movie makes my eyes rain. I'm sorry. That one rocked my world. The rest of it is like, all right. So Jeff is freaked out. Jeff is going through withdrawal and is freaked out about all the available heroin in the camp down below and doesn't want to blow it for everyone. So he tells him to tie him to a tree and not let him down no matter what he says.
Yep.
Later, he, of course, says he's fine and they can let him down, and Kevin refuses, and Jeff goes full Pazuzu and shouts, "Your mother's a cancerous whore!"
And then everybody's be like, what?
Whoa!
What? Like, why? Like, whoa.
Let's see. Then, while bonding over the campfire, Kirk asks Alpa if he has...
Remember way back when I said your mother was a cankerous whore? I'm sorry, man. I did not mean that. She's not.
And then later while they're bonding over the campfire, Kirk asks Alpa if he has a special someone at home. And Alpa lets it slip and says Lance. And then bit of gay panic, but then Jeff pipes up, "Alpa, if you untie me, I will literally suck your dick right now. I'll cradle the balls, stroke the shaft, work the pipe, swallow gravy. Get it over here, buddy. Let's do this."
That's literally the line I was just looking for, too. Yeah.
That one I got line for, because when he says swallow the gravy, I fucking lost it. Swallow the gravy.
I like a bit underrated. Jack Black a few times here really is like, wow.
Okay, so Cruise, 3 acting nominations. Born on the 4th of July, Jerry Maguire, Magnolia.
So is that for Oscars or just in general?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Oscars. Okay. The ones that matter.
It was a different thing. I don't know.
Sorry to Golden Globes, but those are the ones that matter.
Fair enough.
Not really sorry. Those guys suck. Anyway, so Kirk goes in disguise, sent to distract the Golden Dragons while Alpa and Kevin sneak into the camp.
Right.
Kirk has strapped Jeff to a water buffalo, and since Kirk can speak Mandarin, apparently he worked in a Chinese sweatshop for a month to prepare for a role. And the translations for his Mandarin are really funny.
They really are, yeah.
None
I thought
funnier.
About typing them down, but I didn't. But yeah,
well, I just kept the best one. It's like when he unveils Jeff to them and says, "Behold, God's mistake." Eventually, they get him by surprise. They get all the guys on the ground. They go start looking for Tug, and Kirk finds Tug, and Tug is like gone native and has decided to stay because the Golden Dragons appreciate his acting.
That he wants to be father to Half Squat. Yes.
And then Tug starts to confuse Kirk when he asks Kirk if he even knows who he really is anymore. And this is where we get another famous line from the trailer. Kirk responding still in character, "I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude."
But then he starts like breaking down and like changing accents, and then he
goes to his natural Australian.
It's I think at one point he goes Irish. At one point.
No, there's an Irish accent in there too. It's like, oh, that's not great.
Yeah.
Apparently,
let it go for the moment. Yeah.
Well, apparently it was supposed to be Irish, but I think I read that Downey had done Australian for something else, or prepared Australian for something else, so he already had that accent in the bag. Okay. So he's like, "Can we switch it to Australian?" He's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And his Australian is much better than his Irish, that's for sure.
I would agree, yeah. At least in this movie, yeah.
Yes. Then I get to the helicopter. Everyone gets on the helicopter to escape, but Tug wants to stay and be with his new adopted son, Half Squat. And as the actors are about to take off, Tug comes running back across the bridge with Half Squat like strapped to his back, stabbing him repeatedly. And Tug is screaming, "Yeah, blow the bridge! I was wrong!" It's an amazing visual,
especially when he throws him.
Yeah,
flying. And then you have this shot of like Half Squat like making it to the shore, and then turns and then just gives this little like frowny face, sad face.
Oh, and then like. So, like, the bridge gets blown, Tug gets flown forward, and he can't make it on his own, so Kirk decides to go after him, and he tells, to like, almost like reenacting from the script of the movie, and he tells everyone on the helicopter to, like, cover him. And he's like, cover him with
you with what?
Yeah. I love that. And then you got the final TiVo joke, which Tim enjoys.
I did enjoy it, thank you very much.
Last bit, cut to Oscar night, and Tug Speedman has won Best Actor Oscar for Tropic Thunder, the true story behind the making of the most expensive fake true war story ever. And Les Grossman is celebrating his office with his assistant, who he assures that a nutless monkey could do his job.
Yeah. And he repeats it too.
He's like, and he's just like, wow, Les, $400 million in bank, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, thanks, man. I couldn't have done it without you. And he's like, really? He's like, no, a nutless monkey could have done your job.
But then they joke again for a little bit, and then he's, but.
Like, no, but really, a nutless monkey could have done your job. And he kicks him out of his office by himself, and that's where we get more Tom Cruise, Les Grossman dancing. This time to Ludacris's Get Back.
Giant money chain too that he pops out too during it. It's funny.
As we get to watch the end credits, and it's brilliant.
I feel like there's so many things too that I didn't even get on that I could have put in this category, but we've already gone long on it, right? So,
yeah, this is a longer episode.
I mean, like, I just, man, I don't even know what else. You wouldn't say Chinese's, like, or when he's trying to sweet talk Tugman, and he's like, yeah, man, you look like Rambo. Oh yeah, but Rambo 2, not Rambo 1, all that stuff, like, for an action movie nut was just so funny, like, great small little jokes.
Yeah. Well, he's just doing that to distract him too, to steal the map. I love that stuff.
It's so good.
So I gave this a 7.5.
Oh wow, okay. That kind of works out because I went 7. So
really?
I think we're even now because I went a half point higher on Hero.
You did, yeah.
And you went a half point higher on Hilarity. So.
Yeah, no, there are some dull parts and there's some stuff that doesn't work for me. This is still a very, very funny movie.
It's hilarious. It's pretty deep.
And like I said, I enjoyed it even more the second time. But there's some stuff that I'm like, So
some stuff doesn't hit as much. I almost feel like some of the stuff that hit the most for me the first time around didn't as much the second time. And some stuff I didn't pick up on the first time was funnier this time. So yeah, I feel like too, there was also so many things I didn't pick up on the first time that I feel like this movie still has a lot of rewatchability. That I'm gonna pretty much find this pretty funny each time.
Yeah, and I got this movie just has like an embarrassment wealth of supporting characters.
Yeah, it's embarrassment riches, which kind of leads us to this next category.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm like, but like almost none of them are used to the degree that I would have liked them to. But also, you can't make a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
So it's like so. I'm gonna celebrate Tom Cruise as Les Grossman, but then, like, as I'm going down the list, I'm like, he should have been able to do more. Should have been able to do more. So I'm like, I dinged this a little bit, but yeah.
But I think that should go into side characters.
Well, this is going into side characters. What I'm talking about.
Okay, fair enough.
So Tom Cruise as Les Grossman is incredible, and this is like I said, this is the part that should have been nominated for an Oscar. The way he uses his body in this and every insult is just breathtaking, hilarious.
And you got to give credit to the makeup. And
the fake hands that apparently Cruise demanded to get these
you
could
tell
mitts.
I really noticed that this time around.
Yeah, these giant mitts on his
and like incredible amount of hair and everything because he's like not that hairy and he's like they like covered him and like he really like looked like and acted like a different person. It was insane.
He looks completely transformed. It's a great makeup job.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and of course the acting to go with it is it's impressive.
Tour de force performance. Like, this is the one that should have been nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. Cody as the explosive experts I put
Danny
in this
McBride is
category,
Cody, yeah.
which again, every time he's in it, it's hilarious. But again, as you said before, there's just not enough.
His chemistry with Nolte was good.
I agree.
Too.
I agree.
I could have watched those two go back and forth a lot more. It's like I wanted more. Nick Nolte is the real Four Leaf, who is initially acting, like I said, as Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. And it's another thing, he actually served in the Coast Guard, never left the States before.
Yeah.
It's funny transformation that he does in this movie.
Yeah. How he all of a sudden goes from this badass to kind of pathetic.
Each of these side characters could have had their own movie.
Yeah.
There's so much there, like really comedic potential.
But I think it's almost a good thing because it leaves you wanting more, and you're not really.
It's definitely better than the alternative. But it's just like, oh, there's so much here. Because
the worst possible thing is having these side characters and having them and be as good and strong as they are, and having everything else being weak. So you're just like, oh, but it's not. So it's kind of hard to nick it for it.
Yeah. So Matthew McConaughey as Rick Peck.
Yeah.
My dude is game for this movie.
Yeah.
I wish they had more time to show him being like a Weasley agent, maybe with other clients or something.
Right before the reconnaissance, or is it during, or is it post? I want to say it's before.
It's before.
Yeah.
He's on a down, I think Failure to Launch had just come out or something like that.
So it's really like Mud and stuff that kind of starts the trail back up. Yeah. So
he still has I think.
Because it's pretty crazy to have Matthew McConaughey, really a lot of him and Tom Cruise, to be in such these tiny little bit parts.
Yeah, he's got some stinkers still in his future before he turns things around.
Right.
Killer Joe, I think, is the one that I never got to see Mud, but Killer Joe is the one who was like, whoa, I forgot how good this guy is.
Right.
And like I said before, I definitely could have gone for the sun jokes. I could have used 3 more of them.
Sure.
I almost would have loved the level of running joke like an Anchorman when Fred Ward is.
Yeah.
Not Fred Ward. Oh God, I can't remember the guy's name.
No, with the nun and yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But I think I actually almost it's as much
Who
as
among us doesn't enjoy a little pornography now and then.
You're right.
I'm sorry, sister. Of course you don't.
Feel that way at the same time, it's kind of hard to make the argument because you're like, man, or was it the perfect amount? It's just because it's nailed almost every time. I don't think there is that much of a stinker in the side character category.
No,
at all. Because even I almost completely forgot that Bill Hader was in this movie.
I did.
And watching this movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, he is such a small bit. And he is nailing every second of what is given.
He has this look on his face almost the entire movie. He's like, I can't believe I get to do this with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And but while still being really funny and in character the whole time.
he nails it. He really does. I went 5.
I went 4.
Okay, I went 5. It was great.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Steve Coogan as Damien Cockburn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His delivery is great.
He's probably given the least kind of amount, but I mean, he's still pretty good, especially when he gets to freak out in the beginning when everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
How he's easily susceptible to Four Leaves talk or even the whole interaction when he gets punched in the face and everything. And of course, the and I am God. And that whole thing is pretty funny. But
yeah. So I gave this final score of 15.
I went 16.
Okay.
It is now my top rated.
I have it just behind Semi-Pro. You have it just ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, man, this movie is really good. It's kind of it's splitting hairs, right?
Exactly. I love that Ben Stiller, a massive Star Trek fan who named his production company after a famous episode, snuck in Tug watching an episode of the original series on his iPod. Arena, a great episode. Yeah, you didn't notice Captain Kirk fighting?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Could really feel the product placement with Rick multiple times playing Wii Sports.
Yep. I
was like, the Wii again? Okay.
Of an era, right? Of an era.
Yeah, it's the Wii came out 2 years before, but I guess weren't they like hard to get at first? Like every Nintendo is. So
yeah,
it was almost like
I remember
a status symbol
it
if
was
you had
like
a
Wii. The second release because they sold out, and there was like a second stint of it towards the holidays.
Yeah, this is
And
every
then,
Nintendo.
Yeah, I remember waiting online again at the Jefferson Valley Mall to get one, and then I ended up selling it all at one point, like a year or so later, to get a PlayStation 3. And I never looked back.
So this movie had a budget of $92 million and worldwide gross of a little over $195.7 million. Debuted at number 1, beating The Dark Knight in its second weekend of release.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, Dark Knight is arguably considered the greatest comic movie ever made. So,
arguably,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Other movies debuting that weekend: Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which was the biggest bomb of any Star Wars movie. But to be fair, that was just like wasn't really supposed to be developed as a movie. It was supposed to be just like a pilot of the show that they just put into theaters.
What, Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
not episode 2.
Yeah, my bad. That's fair.
Yeah. The horror movie Mirrors and Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Okay, that one I know.
Mirrors? I think Kiefer Sutherland was in it. I never saw it.
Oh, Kiefer. Okay.
So that's it.
All right, man. I mean, that's a solid one. I think that's a pretty. I mean, yeah, our top 3 is pretty close to the same here. Of course, we've swapped Tropic Thunder and Semi-Pro, and we both have Burn After Reading 3.
So next week.
Yeah, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with What Just Happened.
Which one is that one?
It's another Hollywood satire movie starring Robert De Niro.
Oh, right. We talked about that one last time, I think.
2 weeks in the life of a fading Hollywood producer who's having a rough time trying to get his new picture made.
All right, so I guess it kind of flows to what we just did.
Yeah. Based on the book by William Goldman.
And it says here Hulu, Peacock, and Plex.
Yeah, I still see it on Hulu. I don't know about the rest, but definitely still on Hulu. But yeah, you got De Niro, John Turturro, Stanley Tucci. The Tooch, Tim!
I do love Stanley Tucci. That's my boy.
Which will hopefully balance out the fact that Sean Penn is in this movie.
Oh, no.
Keener, Bruce Willis, who is the only part I know from this movie, which I know is a very funny scene.
Yeah, it sounded almost when I was looking into it that he almost steals the show or something.
I only know the one scene, but directed by Barry Levinson. So
okay,
yeah.
I mean, there's definitely names here, right? It shouldn't.
A lot of talent.
Yeah,
so we'll see what it is.
We'll see. All right, man. You got anything else?
That's it.
That is it for us. Please show your support for the podcast by leaving a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music for your happiness. Show also sharing is caring. Be sure to follow us on social media to get the latest show updates. You can contact us by email@gmail.com or find us by searching the hashtag. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Film Bros Championship Podcast. Peace out, everyone.
Swallow the grape.